gave alternative facts.
Okay, the following video is going to talk about, well, it's going to show Donald Trump and his buddies lying to you about how numbers are. What's going to happen during this, and which is already happening, during this administration, is they are going to give you numbers that have no basis in reality. That's all they're going to do. They're just going to throw up a bunch of numbers and say, look, this is how it is. You know, I was just watching the thing in Washington, D.C. Crimes down, violent crimes down in Washington, D.C. Oh, no, it's up, it's up, it's up. So we got to send in the National Guard and the Marines and, you know, I don't know who else, aliens or something like that. They're just going to play with numbers. And they're going to show you these numbers and say, this is how it is. Do not believe your lying eyes. I remember a long time ago, I saw this joke from Russia, about Russia. And this leader is talking to his some of his people and says, we have this great new building we're building on such and such street. And it's going to be wonderful. We're doing all this stuff. This is great for the country. And one of the guys pops up and says, I was just driving down there and there's nothing there. It's just an empty lot. And the guy said, you should listen to me and ignore what you see. This is what this outfit's going to do. Okay, let's listen to this.
Just a quick session with Steve Moore. Everybody knows Steve Moore with the Heritage Foundation, highly respected, one of the most highly respected economists. And
Stephen Moore. Okay, Trump drags this guy out every once in a while. He's an economist. Most respected, blah, 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 blah. He's most respected if you're in the Heritage Foundation or you're doing Project 2025. Okay, this is all far right-wing crap. He doesn't have anything to say. He has no sources for this stuff that I could see that made any sense anyway. The video isn't all that great on it, so I couldn't see some stuff on it. But new numbers just came out. Okay, where did they just come out from? The Heritage Foundation. And they have no source. So I'll let you listen to this a little bit, and I'm going to put Kellyanne Conway in here now and then when she had her alternative facts. So you'll hear that as we go along. So let's watch this.
People that watch your money and know more about your money and your life than probably anybody I can think of. And I want to thank Steve for being here. I saw this today. They came out. What he puts out gets a lot of coverage, and I saw some of them, and then he had a couple of others. And I'd like to ask Steve maybe to discuss a few of these numbers that were just released. I mean, literally just released.
Gave alternative facts.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I called the President because I had some very good news from some new data that we've been able to put together that no one has ever seen before, and I'll just very quickly go through these. So,
gave alternative facts.
Okay, this is all new data. Nobody's ever seen it before. We just managed to get this up. You know, you have to take it from the Bureau of Labor Statistics is about the only place you can get it. And he's talking about something. He'll go into this. It's just kind of, more jobs. During the Biden administration, there were much less jobs were done, 1.5 million or something. It's just crap. There is nothing backing this. If he had something backing it, he'd be giving sources, but he's not giving sources. So let's look at this a little longer.
I was telling the President that he did the right thing in calling for a new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because this shows that over the last 2 years of the Biden administration, the BLS overestimated job creation by 1.5 million jobs. Mr. President, that's a gigantic error. And I don't know if she's, I'm not
It might not have been an error, that's the bad part. If it was an error, it would be one thing. I don't think it's an error. I think they did it purposely.
Whether that, you may well be right, but even if it wasn't purposefully, it's incompetence.
Right.
Okay, so 1.5 million jobs overestimated.
Gave alternative facts.
We have access to the some data that no one else does on what has happened.
Gave alternative facts.
And of course, this is going to come up and say, well, we have data that no one else can get. You know, we grabbed it out of, probably out of the thin air. There really is nothing here, but yeah, everybody's made a whole bunch of money since Trump was elected in his second term. We're making $1,000 or whatever the number is they come up with, more than anybody else, and it's all because of Trump's policies. The problem is Trump's policies really haven't even taken effect, especially not the tariffs.
Month by month, with median household income, this is based on unpublished Census Bureau data. It will be released sometime in the next 6 months, but we get an advanced look at it. And so I was telling the president, in his first 5 months in office, starting in January through the end of June, the average median household income adjusted for inflation for the average family in America is already up $1,174. That's
an incredible number.
Yeah.
Just came out.
Gave alternative facts.
Just came out. So that's a giant gain.
And if I would have said this, nobody would have believed it. There's your number.
So the next one compares, we finally have the 2024 data on what happened with real family income in the United States.
Gave alternative facts.
And so what I did was I compared the record in Donald Trump's first term with the Joe Biden first term. And you can see that, by the way, these dotted lines here, Mr. President, that's COVID. So if it had not been for COVID, these numbers would have been substantially better. But even taking account President Trump's last year in 2020, we saw a $6,400 real after inflation gain in income for the average family. And that compares with Joe Biden, which was a measly $551. So, Mr. President, you gain 10 times more income for the average family.
Okay, this chart, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's just, what? Dotted line, COVID, could have been 8,000, blah, blah, blah. This is not, there's nothing there. It's just crap. And to give you an idea of how sloppy these guys are, look at this chart I'm showing now. It's showing that chart that he was referencing right there, and it says medium income. Okay, medium income, medium is how I like my steak cooked. Economists don't use medium income, they use median income. Now you say, oh, well, it's just a typo. In the White House, we should have no typos. This was just total sloppiness. Median income is, it's not taking just an average of the richest and the poorest and all that sort of stuff. There's putting a lot of other things in there to get what a real average is. If you have one guy that makes $3 billion this year and another guy that makes $5,000, the medium is going to be sometime, you can just calculate it and it's easy to do, but that's wrong because it doesn't fit. Anyway, they put that in there. Tells me just about how valuable any of this stuff is. To me, this whole chart was incomprehensible. I am going to show you a real chart of what the numbers really were, and you can compare that to this crap that they put up there. Okay, these guys go a little farther. They got another couple of charts saying everybody lost money, and when Biden was in and when Trump was in, everybody made money and all this. I'm not even going to show them because there's nothing to back these things up. So anyway, this is my latest on this. That's it on this one.